In the classrooms here in the IT department, all teacher stations are awarded with 2 monitors. This to me I feel is very important and key. It allows me to use one monitor to show me exactly what the remote students are seeing, as well as what I'm projecting on the projector. The other monitor allows me to have my presentation materials handy, any example solutions that I want to see to rely on during my discussion, and more importantly, to be able to see my remote students as we go forward. The other piece of equipment that's very important is our department has purchased several camera microphone combinations. I believe they are called the 360. And here is my item. It looks like this when it's all folded up. It allows us to, it can open up, there's the camera, as well as with the microphones, and then it has several different ways that we can utilize to attach it where we care to do it. Could just set it down and lean it up, but what I like about it, allows me to connect to the monitor and then to display things. So to connect to a monitor, come over here, place it on the monitor you want, you move the types, and then you can move the camera to be where you want, and it will stay up here on the monitor itself. Okay. I purposely picked this room so you can see here's the projector on the ceiling, and it itself projects onto a whiteboard, which is going to allow me then to not only project the material that I want the students to see, but then to comment and draw upon that material as the lecture goes on. Now that the desktop is powered up, I am going to prepare the rest of my environment for the class. Again, got the camera up on the top corner of the monitor, right here. We've got my screens, and we're going to go ahead and sign in. As part of my process, I keep all of my materials out on the shared drive that's available to us. So in my personal directory, once this comes up, I will make it available, and I will open up the presentation. I will open up any of the other. Got that. There I am here. I need to come down here and go to the F drive, go to users, go find my folder. There I am. Open that up, and then get to the materials that I need. I have it set up as courses, my active courses for this semester. So for this class today, we are teaching Computer Science 1, CMP 128. Today's lecture, we are introducing to the students the concept of arrays and how to handle and program arrays in the Java programming language. So opening up my material for the class, got my lectures. Down here I have both my PowerPoint copy as well as a PDF version, which has been posted already to Blackboard for the students who care to look at it ahead of time, or if they wish to review it afterwards. Alright, so now my PowerPoint presentation has shown up. So the next thing that I'm going to do is just put this in presentation mode and to verify that, based on, since I haven't been in this classroom for a while, to go ahead and see which screens are showing where they're supposed to be. I do have an option come up here. I can slip the displays, but then during my lecture I'm going to be dropping in and out of presentation mode, so I don't want to have to do this every time. So I'm going to have to come in here now and readjust my display. So by doing a right click and waiting for it, display settings, okay. Again, because these computers have not been, so I'm going to click that one, and then I need to come down here and I am going to click make the second one my main display. So now when I go into presentation mode, my presentation is on this monitor and it's on my screen. So everything that is on my left monitor is what will be seen by the students. And as I drop in and out of this presentation, I don't have to worry about it. So I have to finish setting up. So at the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the presentation mode. I can switch this. I do have to remember to switch it back for the next teacher that's going to be teaching here. Now the other item that I have is, as part of this discussion, I am going to walk through code with the class on how to program one of the solutions. So I have items that I've already pre-created, and I need to go find it, and then here is the discussion we're doing. And so I have a PDF version of the solution that I will be working with the class to create. And this just gives me my little cheat sheet, so I don't have to go look for something. I'm going to move this over to the screen that my students are not going to see. Shrink it down a little bit. Take this guy here. Now then, I'm going to move that. I'm going to move that. I'm going to remove my ribbon bar, and I'm actually going to place this into the screen my students see. And I'm going to shrink the window so that when I'm not in presentation mode, we can still see a version of the slide. So get that a little further. Okay, I'm done with this. Let's move it to this window because I don't need the students to see it. And then I will go ahead and shrink it. And the next item I need is, since we're going to be doing programming, I need to open up the programming editor. We use in my class JGrasp. I go ahead and read. So we go there, and the next thing that I'm going to do is going back to my file directory here. I need to incorporate the student example files that come with the textbook into my editor. So I have all of those copied down, and I need to get there. Come back here. Go to my right directory, all my textbooks and a couple of different versions of them as we've changed over time. Source code, chapter 7, and I'm going to copy that too. Copy to copy, and then I'm just going to go ahead and go to the documents, and I'm going to paste it there. I can do a refresh over here, and there are the chapters and all my example files that we will need. Okay, so I basically, at this point, I have the editor open. This is the monitor my students will see. I can make this a little bit. So what the screens look like waiting for students to come in, this one here on the left is what the students will see. Over here is what I am going to see. I have my presentation mode, I have the chat window open, and when students appear in the classroom, there'll be a window which we'll see in a little bit that also will be open. So we're all set up and ready to go. I've got, again, the screen where the students will see everything. One key item with this is, since I am presenting to two audiences, you need both audiences to see the same thing. So it limits what I can do. I need to stay at the monitor. So as you can see here, if I'm using my mouse, I can highlight the areas of the discussion I'm going to do. If I switch out of this mode and go into the code that we'll be monitoring and looking at, I can then also highlight parts of my code through my discussion, and you'll see this a little later on when we do a highlight. And again, this is the same screen that's being projected onto the whiteboard behind me, so that the students who are in the classroom are seeing the exact same thing as the students who are peering remotely. Another item to keep in mind is you can increase the size of your mouse so that it's easier for your students to see. So just go to or do a search on mouse size settings, and it gives you the ability to do that. And it definitely helps the students who are working and looking from smaller screens. Got this ready. I'm going to go ahead and invite students in. So here I have the students. This currently, again, they are seeing myself, but I'm going to come in here and I'm going to share by the screen that I want them to see, which is this one here. And now that they're sharing the screen, my controls jump to over here. So I want to open up the chat window and I want to move it over here to where I can see it. So I'm going to move this window. Let's see here. Oh, come on. There we go. Move that window over there. I've got my chat window. Whatever that is, I don't need it. I will close it. I don't need this. I will close it. And I'm going to make this a little bigger so I can see all the students as they come in. And from this, we go into the lecture. So, wait for the students. I'm going to unmute and begin my conversations. Hello, Thomas. Hi, Megan. Hi, Jared. How are we doing today? All right, I also need to do this. Get my presentation going. All right. Okay. So, I know we're just a couple minutes yet before we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, let me get the recorder going so that we can post this for later. Recorder's going. Welcome again. All right, so today we are going to discuss the array. I've opened up the past elements one. Please follow along. All right, I've got my main method. We're creating a simple array. I've got a for loop here. So I've come in here and I'm reading through them and I'm taking my index 0. So here I've got a method call. Looks like a variable name and it has parentheses. Must be a method. Within the method call, I am placing the name of my array with the square bracket index value. So with my index at 0, it's going to take what's in bucket 0, which we know is a 5, and we're going to pass to this method down here. And here because this is an integer array, I've created as a parameter an integer variable to hold that value. For line 23, who's the audience for line 23? Is it the computer or the user?
The user.
The user. So if I display to the user employee 0, I'm asking for the number of hours worked by employee 0. We'll ask the user, tell us what's in employee 2. And we're going to add that into our index value 1. So index value 1, employee 2. Thomas, how many hours did they work that week?
40.
40. That's a nice number. All right. We reached the end.
And so when I go to compile, that's what I get.
37, reach the end while parsing. So that's because you didn't put in an if statement. I can use it to determine. So in this one, if this variable called cost and bucket 20, if whatever value is in there is less than what's in array bucket 0, is less than that, that's going to be true. Otherwise, it's going to be false. I can use an array and a while loop. Again, whatever value is in this array value at
at whatever index value count is. So with this, I've got myself here. I've got my Java scanner. So we're going to be connecting to ask for some input. I've got my class statement. I've got my envelope for my class statement, main method, my envelope for the main method. And then here we're creating a constant variable with 3 in it. I'm creating my array. It's going to be an integer array. Integer. There's my array. There's my name equal. And then this is going out and creating it in memory. And it's going to have that 3 in there. So it's going to create a 3-bucket array starting at 0. So my index values will be 0, 1, and 2. Ask the user for some.
And so when I go to compile,